Welcome back to the Harmonic Profile project. This is Federico again with an update sometime after that first introduction video where I talked about the basic idea and concept of the HPP and I showed the first prototype. That video is still available and it's still probably useful as a first introduction to the system. But the news today is that HPP is now implemented as an online tool that can be used in any browser, standard browser, anywhere without needing to download or install or learn any code or any new software. So this video is the demo, kind of as a brief tutorial for the basic features and the basic workings of the HPP as a web app. So let me open a completely new browser window with no history and log on to HPP for Harmonic Profile Project .pythonanywhere.com. Python Anywhere is the system that allows implementing Python programs as websites. And when you log on to that, so hpp.pythonanywhere.com, this is the homepage that we get. You can start adding pieces, adding chords right away. There is a basic description of the system, and there's also the option of loading a sample. These samples are intended as easy, self-explanatory ways of introducing new users to the HPP. In this case, I just loaded the most simple of the samples, the Bach Prelude number 1, the C major Prelude, Well-Tempered Clavier. And it has the title here, and it has the chords of a piece in the text area. The syntax for these chords is kind of explained here, but then in full detail, it's always available with the full specification of the different components under the Help tab. That's always there. In our case, we have simple chords like the C major chord or the A minor in first inversion, and more involved things like G with a suspension and with a seventh, the C sharp diminished for 3, etc. So once you have the chords in the piece, you can update the plot. It creates the plot given by these chords. And you can always add new pieces. So we can make this, let's make this a plot of 2 preludes from the Well-Tempered Clavier. The first one is the C major prelude, and let's add the C minor prelude. That starts with a C minor chord and an F minor over a pedal, and so on. As always, I have it ready to paste. Here is the full progression of the C minor prelude, and we can add it to the session and update the plot, and we get this composite plot. It has, maybe surprisingly, 3 different colors. It has a color for the C major piece, so these are progressions and moves that happen only in the C major prelude. Then the red is progressions that happen only in the C minor, and then some of the moves do happen in both of them, and they're shared and present in both of them, so the program has stored them away as a different intersection set, in this case green. Maybe you don't want that kind of detail, and you just want to have the composite of all the moves. So you can always remove that chord. I copied the chords from the second piece into the first piece, remove the second piece, and now we have a single piece that includes all of the moves that are present in both. Maybe we should rename this as either. So now the pom-poms give us the move, and it says there either. Now there's size, different sizes for the pom-poms that represents the frequency of the moves. So the small ones in this case are happen once. As you can see there, out of the 103 total harmonic connections, 1 is a diminished 7th going to the diminished 7th in third inversion, diminished 2 by perfect 4th going up. These larger ones happen 4 times, this one happens 6 times, and so on. So that's what the size of the pom-poms represents. Now, I have planted a couple of mistakes. So if you look at the minor second, so all of these moves, when you turn it this way, are moves that happen by minor second up, ascending minor second. and most of them are in this diminished area of a plot. So this is all the versions of diminished chords with different inversions, different sevenths, and so on. And this is natural because, as you know, the diminished chord is a leading tone chord, so it will naturally resolve upwards by a second, by a minor second, in fact. But this one is a minor 6 chord, so first inversion minor chord to a first inversion major chord by minor second up. And I can't think of a normal progression in normal tonal harmony that gives you that connection. So 6 doesn't go by minor second up, 2 doesn't go by minor second up usually. In minor mode you could have 1 and 4, but they don't really go by minor second up. So I think this is a mistake, and in fact I told you I planted this mistake. So how do you locate one of these pom-poms here in the progression that's creating that plot? Well, you can always search on the browser. So if I search for 6, it will highlight all the chords that are in first inversion. I can go one by one and check for minor 6 next to a major 6 chord, and I see that connection here, and this is in fact the one. This F sharp is a diminished chord. This is at the end of a second prelude, pedal in G. This is 7 of 5 going to a 5 chord. So that's I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Then is there any more? So this another one that might be a mistake, even easier to look for, because it's at 7/P. That will be less common. So here we have all the occurrences of that, and we can check that they're all right. It's this one that also should be a diminished chord as 7 diminished for 5 of 5. So let's update the plot. And now, yes, all of the minor second ascending connections are diminished chords now, except for this one. It's a 6/4 going to diminished 7th. Let's see what that looks like. So this is all the 6/4 chords. I guess it's this one right here. F 6/4 going to F sharp, so minor second up, diminished. This is a legit move. This is just a chord of subdominant going up to the 7 of 5 towards the end of a first prelude. So that illustrates how to kind of communicate back and locate back particular moves that are in the plot, how to look and find them in the chords and in the text areas. So that's a fairly complete demo of how to use the system in the browser. There are more features that I will illustrate in a second video with all the saving and the importing and loading sessions and so on. Until then, thanks a lot. Let me know if there are any comments or questions. And thanks for listening. I'll see you soon.